A very good day to you. Welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jadil Kabir for our usual political conversations to build this country. Even as we're progressing with President William Ruto's administration, I'm here with Herman Manyora. How are you doing?
Good.
Conversation in the country is on mediation. Raila Odinga's Violo Moja leader says Suluhu Hassan, the president of Tanzania, was in Kenya, and the invitation of President William Ruto, they were going to meet in a hotel in Mount Kenya, and then Ruto stood them up. He did not appear. Raila says he was ready, he was willing to have this conversation about what is ailing this country and how they can fix it. First of all, will she bring the solution to cost of living? That's the big question.
It's not about the question bringing solutions to specific items. Mediation is about helping two parties get together and get to talk to each other. So that you are perhaps just like the role of a chairman. I can't trust you to chair, you can't trust me to chair. Some of the issues are not being resolved, positions are hardened. So a mediator helps the positions to soften, helps people to calm down, helps people to see sense, to have established some common ground. Yeah, it is a fairly beaten path. So it doesn't have to be a UN expert.
You know, President William...
In any case, presidents always move with advisors who are experts in all these negotiations, mediations, dialogue processes. So she can be able to do it. She can do it rather. And what is more important is where this thing has reached, I don't think it will be Suluhu Hassan's efforts alone. There must be some big players behind her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the question is, why change tune? Because if it's on the invitation of President William Ruto, at first they had said they are not going to meet Raila. They said it's only going to happen the parliamentary way, and then it came outside parliament with some lawyers getting in. And now it seems like Ruto is willing to meet him. On a tweet he said he's in Tanzania, he's available to meet anyone and meet Raila anytime of his convenience. That's what he said on his tweet. He's in Tanzania today. Why change tune and say, look, I'm ready to meet you, Raila?
You know, I don't think that tweet is in good faith. Yeah.
Let me just read it. My friend Raila Odinga, I'm off to Tanzania for a human capital meeting to harmonize the expansion of employment opportunities in our continent. I'm back tomorrow evening, and you have always known I'm available to meet one-on-one with you anytime at your convenience. You see, this is simply in jest.
You don't even need to be a communication expert to see that tweet is not in good faith. Secondly, these are serious matters. These are issues which, if we don't resolve, we shall destroy this country. You cannot tweet about them. Okay. I don't think the president can tweet. The president cannot tweet his seriousness to meet Raila. Neither can Raila tweet back. So you want Raila to tweet back?
Okay.
Safe journey when you come back.
Quote retweet. So
there's something wrong with this country. Our leaders are playing with fire. So this is not in good faith.
He's just responding.
And in any case, you can't tweet over matters like this.
Oh, that's why.
Even if you like tweeting, you cannot tweet over such a serious. These are matters of life and death.
So do you think the president is not willing to meet Raila? Is that the case?
I'm not saying the president is not willing to meet Raila. I'm saying, as a person who understands a thing or two about communication, especially political communication, this is not in good faith. In any case, this is hardly the channel a president can use to signal their willingness to sit down and talk.
Is the president continuing with what he was doing with the dialogue case? Raila says they brought like the second team, not the main team when it came to meeting the team from Azimio's side when it comes to dialogue. Is this what the president is doing, trying to delay time, calling Suluhu and then not going to meet her?
First of all, I'm not sure the president called Suluhu.
Even if Raila says so.
Because Raila say, how can we trust Raila? How can we? No, we are forced just to believe Raila's words. So it may not be true. And if it is true, there could be reasons why the president didn't meet him.
2 days?
Maybe she came with other demands. Maybe she came and ambushed the president. That, I could invite you, you come, we talk. So that you get my position as the president of Kenya. Maybe I want to tell you why I don't want to meet Raila. And then you come and arrange a meeting between me and Raila before you even talk to me. So, I mean, there are all sorts of reasons why the president could snub him.
Yeah.
But the president could also snub her because maybe he didn't reckon the opposition from Gachagua and Kinashungwa. Maybe he did this before talking to them. And the moment they got wind, it became, no, what are you doing, man?
It became serious.
What are you doing? So there are all there are many reasons for this. But the point I want to make is this. These are not laughing matters. These are not matters over which anybody can be clever. No. No. And I want to advise the president and his team. We are dealing with serious issues. It's about our country. Yeah. Whether we'll have this country or not.
But you see, for people talking about power sharing, of course, Raila says, again, we are not interested in being part of this government. But if you're going to talk in a hotel in Mount Kenya without the people that you represent knowing about it, does this seem that Raila is most likely looking for power sharing, even if he says no to it?
There are two things. Number one, the mood is against power sharing. The mood is against Nusumukati. The mood is in the country is against handshake. The mood in the country is against coalition government. And this is mainly because people have not understood 2007, 2008, 2017, and other times Raila has met, kind of entered into a working relationship with the president of the country. Because people have not understood, and because clever people have twisted the narrative and created the narrative that Raila is power hungry. That Raila is always forcing himself into government, which is not the case. But that seems to be the narrative that is dominant. People believe Raila has forced himself into government. Even the people who fought harder than Raila in 2007 fought so hard to ensure Raila's victory is not stolen, including the current president, are peddling the same narrative that Raila forces himself into government. Who defended Raila's victory, which was stolen by Kibaki, more than Ruto? None. There's nobody. But now they have succeeded in creating the narrative that Raila is perpetually looking for power through the back door. So, which is wrong, of course. You can't steal my victory. Then I look at country and I think country is bigger than my victory. I agree to let you be president and share government with you. Then people vilify me and demonize me instead of demonizing Kibaki, who stole Raila's victory, as we all know. So, and in 2017, the country was burning. The Supreme Court had said the election was stolen. You know, they can't tell you it is stolen, but they are saying it. And then Raila considers the country and agrees to give Uhuru a chance to finish his term. So again, that is vilified and Raila is demonized. Because that side has carried the day. And the country believes Raila is forcing himself into government all this time. The country is against that. So that's number one. And Raila is aware of that. And I don't think, even if it was not for that, I don't think Raila will be willing to just fight so that he may share government. But I say there's the second thing about this Nusumukate. You call it
power sharing.
Power sharing. Let me tell you, that is the best deal the president will have. Yes. Time is running out for the president. And you know, the people around the president don't love this country the way I love it. They don't even love the president the way I love him. They cannot tell him what I'm telling him. Time is running out for him.
The deal is to give Raila.
You see, if the president gets hold of this problem the way Moi used to do and manage the process, he will remain the president with his powers intact. Remember I said on this show with you, that time was running out for the president to do certain things. Beyond a certain time, irrespective, what you do will be too little, too late. Even if you lower the price of food, almost like even now, it is too little. You must be very careful. The timing is important. So the president should get hold of this process. Sit down with Raila. Raila will get very little out of that process. the president will remain president with his powers intact.
But where do you
Those around him are not telling that. They are only banging the chest.
Where do you leave them, those that are banging their chests? If you
They must be ignored. They must be ignored.
Where do you leave them?
You ignore them. Let me tell you, if the president doesn't take hold of this thing and run with it, manage the process, call Raila for... if the president calls Raila, it will be him and Raila. If he waits, he's going to be forced to sit down by other players greater than him.
But
now, when it comes to that, so that Gina Ishungwa can cool down a bit and regarding Gachagua, I want them to listen to me. I have no interest in these matters. My only interest, I want this country to remain to my children when it's intact and their children. When it comes to that, the best deal the president will get out of this will be a shared government. That will be the best.
The worst?
The worst, he can go out. Both of them can lose with Raila.
So what you're saying is Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has no say when it comes to the conversation.
It's not a question of he has
William Ruto and Raila.
If you look at settlements, political settlements, whenever there are conflicts, wars and what have you, what happened between Kibaki and Raila is what normally happens. That the top people ignore everybody else and they make decisions. When you see people negotiating, it is not that they have the power to make decisions. The big boy somewhere, the big
boy
is waiting for things to be clearer. As you are negotiating things, things begin looking clearer. Then they make a decision. That's why a bad general, and I suspect bad generals are Raila and Ruto. They are poor generals. Poor generals go to the negotiation. When you make the mistake there, you can't retract. So Ruto should allow other people to go. Raila should allow other people. So that if those people make mistakes, then they are the ones to appear to be even admonishing those people. Who told you to say that? Blah, blah, blah. That's how
That's not what I want.
That's how negotiations are done. But if you have the generals at the top, it is very, and that's why we are in a bad situation. But where it has reached, I want to advise Ruto, my president, call Raila, sit down with him. Watch a mambo ya kutweet. Sit down with Raila. You'll finish your term intact.
How should it happen? Because you're saying Raila is aware that the country is against the handshake that was there before.
Yes.
But then you hear the president of Tanzania came 2 days ago.
Yes.
She came with a military airplane, military chopper, landed privately in Mount Kenya. Raila meeting her privately again. If they do this and come out and say, look, this is what we've decided, should it first go with the people or should they decide for themselves before?
Who?
The likes of Raila or Ruto. Should they come up with an agreement even without people knowing they're actually talking?
Where this thing has reached, it's just Raila and Ruto to meet.
Privately?
They can meet privately. They can meet even publicly. And so long as what comes out is not a handshake, the country will receive it. Two things. One, Raila meeting Ruto should not produce a handshake. The country will not accept it. Two, the agreement between Raila Odinga must have the cost of living as the top thing. And immediately they leave that venue, the people of Kenya must see the benefits directly. The president must say the cost of living is coming down by 30%, and he has every power to do that. Say, we have agreed because of this so that we do not continue fighting, even at a great cost to my own policies and my manifesto and my thinking. Reluctantly, I've agreed in the interest of country. I'll provide subsidies on unga. And we are working on the modalities. And in the next 1 week, unga will come to 120.
So what you're saying is the public need not know how the agreement
It's not important.
is.
So long as what comes out of the meeting, the public benefits. And there is no handshake. But there are benefits. Political benefits will include IBC. Immediate, something on IBC. Immediate. and a promise on the audit of servers. That's what settles the political issue. The food issue, the tax issue, the president must suspend the Finance Act immediately. Find a way of doing away with the Finance Act in the budget, because the law will allow him to use the previous budget. Say I'm no longer appointing the CAS, those kind of things, things that are angering, making the public angry, and then deal with the hunger by lowering the prices of electricity, fuel, diesel, petrol, and food. These are things that can be done in one afternoon.
Now, finally, for Raila, he says, I don't want power sharing.
Yes.
I don't want to be part of this government, but
Yes.
my people need to feel included
Yes.
in the government. How do you deal with this? Because
That if
this
you
is the
introduce
other
that,
thing.
if you introduce that, the public will not like it. The Ruto has to be allowed to run his government with his people, but he has to bring down the cost of living, do away with the finance bill, do away with the CAS, and agree to a better way of constituting IBC and an audit of the servers. An audit. I'm not saying he leaves state. That will settle this thing. But I must repeat, finally, if he doesn't do that, the best he will get tomorrow will be Nusumukate government. It will be forced on him.
And then we'll just be...
And that will be the best.
We'll be looking at the likes of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, getting to know what will happen to
Yeah,
them.
of course, then once that happens, he'll be relegated to number 5.
Thank you for tuning in into our conversation for today. If you didn't know why Suluhu Hassan was in the country, now you probably know that the conversation is on mediation, getting Raila and Ruto to agree at least on some of the issues that Azimio la Umoja has brought on the table. Until we do talk again, have yourself a lovely rest of your day.